In Sydney, Customs and Border Protection officers have stopped a woman returning home from a trip to China. She is not happy about having her bag searched, and it doesn't take long for Officer Pete to find a reason why.
Have these things with you. Where are they?
The woman is carrying receipts for undeclared goods.
Where are they? Outside.
They include a handbag and watch worth $5,000 that should have been presented to Customs and Border Protection on re-entering the country.
Why are they outside?
But Officer Pete becomes increasingly concerned when a large number of business cards from an escort agency in Sydney are discovered in the passenger's suitcase, along with passports belonging to 3 unknown Chinese women.
It's highly unusual for another person to carry somebody else's passport.
For the majority of New Zealanders travelling to Australia, they do not require a visa to enter the country. But for a small few, it's a different story.
I've got a New Zealand passenger who's arrived today, who's declared criminal convictions on his incoming passenger card. So I'm going to go in and interview him and ask him to provide further information about those convictions and see whether we're able to immigration clear him. Are you okay for me to call you Christopher?
Yes.
All right, what I have to do today is need to make an assessment whether you'll be given immigration clearance.
Okay.
You must not have any criminal convictions totalling a period of 12 months or more.
Why didn't they tell me back then after your rule?
Okay, maybe if you had gone to the embassy, they would have told you that you needed to apply for a visa prior to coming.
Passport? Why did they give
The
me a passport?
passport's got nothing to do with that. It's a visa for Australia.
The passenger has served a 2.5-year prison sentence for drink driving.
Back in, might have been 2004, I got sentenced, and then I got out in 2004, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, well, was it just drink driving or was there more to it?
I think, no, so many drink. I accumulated too much drink driving.
His reason for coming to Australia is to celebrate his brother's 50th birthday.
So how long has it been since you've seen your brother?
I haven't seen him for about 20 years. That's the same with my whole family. What my mission is, visit all my nieces and nephews, you know, and my brothers, because they're all over here. I'm the unwanted child of my brothers and sisters.
Okay.
You know, the bad one.
This school teacher and her partner have returned home to Sydney after a holiday to Thailand.
We've just got a bag here and it's got a whole lot of things that are food, and as we don't know what type of food it is, we need to identify what sort of food it is.
The items do not seem to be concealed, but the passenger has declared she's not bringing any food into the country.
Food. Okay, yeah.
Food.
See, these things should have been declared, ma'am.
Sorry.
So why didn't you declare the food?
I actually didn't even think that they were, because I don't know.
It says any food.
Yeah, you're right.
But the food is not the only concern for Officer Gale.
What have you got here? Pencil?
Pencils are made of wood.
No, bark.
Bark, okay. Oh my gosh.
Bark is not allowed into Australia unless it's devitalised because it can have plant pathogens.
That's fine.
But These things you really should have declared, all of this wood, and especially the bark pencils are really important.
Customs and Border Protection have discovered a number of items of interest in this passenger's luggage. But of greatest concern is the discovery of 3 passports she is carrying of unknown Chinese women.
We found a number of business cards pertaining to an escort service here in Sydney, and one could draw the conclusion that these 3 people may be employed in some regard with that business. At the moment, it's not entirely certain what the connection is, but that's why we're making our inquiries.
It's getting worse and worse for you, isn't it?
I don't know, you'll say.
Well, I found you carrying 3 passports for 3 different people that aren't travelling with you. I found about $5,000 worth of receipts. I found about 5,000 business cards for a brothel. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
The Department of Immigration and Citizenship are called to investigate the 3 passports and determine if the women are residents of Australia or China. For Customs and Border Protection, there is also the matter of $5,000 of receipts for luxury goods that should have been declared.
There was a Louis Vuitton handbag and a very expensive watch that was exported and the tax was claimed on the goods. If the goods stay out of the country, that's fine. If they're re-imported, they are obliged to declare the goods. The goods weren't declared, so there are still taxes and duties owing on those goods. You've been caught out, haven't you?
Teacher Kathy didn't declare her snack food on her return to Sydney, but it's the bark pencils which are of concern for biosecurity officers.
So all the rest that you can have, but it's the bark pencils you can't, well, needs treatment.
I bought them for presents for the kids at school.
But even presents need to be declared, ma'am.
Sorry. I didn't even realise, actually.
The reason why the bark pencils were taken is because bark can have fungal spores and plant pathogens, and so it's mandatory treatment for all bark that comes into Australia.
Oh, I can't get this yet.
Kathy chose to have the pencils destroyed rather than have them treated, but she can keep her snack food.
This is just a warning. It says here that the offence could have resulted on the spot fine of up to $220.
Yes.
This occasion, I'm not going to take any further action. You do need to be a bit more aware of declaring everything.
Officer Gale is confident the warning will serve as a deterrent, and this passenger will not offend again.
According to our guidelines as to whether someone is fined or not, and according to our guidelines, she didn't need to be fined today, but a written warning was good enough for that.
At the Mail Centre in Melbourne, Customs and Border Protection Officer Rocky is on the alert for parcels of a particular size and appearance.
Okay, this is a consignment coming out of China, which was similar to a seizure that we had a few days ago that contained suspected methamphetamines. What alerted me to this parcel is that the consignor and consignee are both the same or very similar to what we've had, and the handwriting's pretty much identical to the one that we've seized as well.
The box is put through the X-ray machine and the contents compared to the previous seizure.
We've got two areas here of interest to us, which are a lot darker than the rest of the commodity in here.
Once opened by Australia Post, Officer Rocky takes the package to a deconstruction room to try and determine what may have been causing the darker images on the X-ray.
Okay, as we open it up, you can actually see that there are some food-type products out of China.
And there's something not quite right about the very first package out of the box.
As you can see, it's not commercially sealed, so we'll have a look in here.
This New Zealand passenger's in Sydney to attend his brother's 50th birthday party. But due to his criminal convictions, he may be stopped at the border.
He hasn't seen his family members in over 20 years.
Yep. Do they know he's coming?
Yeah, his sister Lila is waiting for him outside and he claims he'll be staying with her at her house. What else was there? I spoke to him about his criminal convictions. Basically, he said sentenced in 2000, happened in 2004 sentence, and he got released in 2007.
Is that when he was in prison?
That's what he's
from
claiming.
2004?
He's claiming
and
that.
That's the most he can remember. Prior to that, he can't remember much?
Well, he said that his memory is not very good.
Nicole contacts one of the man's sisters, who confirms he is here for his brother's birthday and will be staying with family.
So yourself and Lila.
but she can't shed any light on his criminal past.
Are you aware of any of your brother's previous history in New Zealand? Okay. So you're not aware of any criminal convictions or anything that he might have? Okay. All right, thank you very much for your
But
time.
while Officer Nicole's been on the phone, new information has come to light from New Zealand Interpol, which suggests his criminal history is much more extensive than he claims.
He's had continuing offences from 1970 up until 2009.
Returning from a trip to China, this passenger is carrying receipts for a handbag and a watch worth $5,000 that should have been declared to Customs and Border Protection. While the handbag is in her possession, she says her father is wearing the watch outside. But when a Customs and Border Protection officer attempts to retrieve it, they return with the woman's husband.
That watch, I know that watch has already been made a claim on it, okay? It wasn't declared. It wasn't declared.
It's on his father's arm. On his father's arm. His father come with her.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, you know,
I know
that. That's it.
Yeah, but I only know that because I found the empty box in the bag. Okay? The fact that he's made admissions that we're not in possession, the watch is good enough, admissions have been made so we can continue with that to recoup the GST on the goods.
All right. Thank you. You're right to go now. Would you like to go back outside? Thank you.
What?
You can go back outside now.
But as the husband is led away, the already agitated woman starts to unravel.
Well, we've got a Mandarin speaker who's going to come down. Okay.
And then she loses control.
So we can have a look in here and see if there's any concealments inside this.
Back at the Melbourne Mail Centre, Officer Rocky is examining the contents of a suspect package from China.
Okay, and by opening this up, I can see two anomalies inside the packaging, wrapped up in foil, which aren't consistent with the rest of the consignment. These two items here are the anomalies that we saw on the X-ray, and by the looks of it, they are a white crystal type substance, similar to the substance we had a few days ago. So what we'll do is we'll run a test on this on our itomizer and see what reading we get.
A swab is taken of the white crystal residue on the outside of the foil package, and it doesn't take long to get a result.
This has actually resulted in a positive alarm for methamphetamines, very similar to the previous consignment as well. Very high reading too. Okay, what we'll do now is weigh the substance. Okay, we've got 116 grams of suspected methamphetamines in this shipment here. So it is a large quantity. And this is actually what the substance looks like. The methamphetamines, also known as ice.
Officer Rocky knows that keeping these drugs off the street makes a difference.
That's what we're here to do, you know. We're here to protect the borders and keep all the contraband off our streets. So every seizure we do get, whether it be, you know, 5 grams to 10 kilos, you know, it's always rewarding to know that we've done our bit to detect the prohibited substance.
This New Zealand passenger says he spent 4 years in prison for multiple drink driving offences. But information from Interpol suggests his criminal history is much more extensive.
He's had continuing offences from 1970 up until 2009. What can he say to basically show us that he's changed?
Basically, you need to tell me why you believe we should immigration clear you today.
When you turn the age of 50, okay, that's when I realised, you know, that there is a life out here. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, well, I'm going to change now. I'm a good guy now, you know, yeah. And I don't drink. I haven't drunken since, 8 years now.
All right.
While he says he's turned over a new leaf, officers have serious concerns and discuss the case with Supervisor Tracy.
So I guess as a New Zealand citizen though, key for us are the criminal convictions, and most important, the amount of time he's been sentenced to imprisonment. What did he have to say about these offences?
Basically, he said once he turned 50, he realised there was more to life than doing what he's been doing.
Christopher waits anxiously to see if immigration will overlook his criminal past and allow him to reunite with his family.
I can see here offences in 2005, 2006, 2008, 2009. So there still appears to be some offences since that time.
After finding passports belonging to 3 women in her luggage, as well as 5,000 business cards for an escort service in Sydney, and not declaring luxury goods on her incoming passenger card, this woman is starting to feel the pressure.
That's when I got a supervisor to intervene, just to let her know that if she carries on like that, then we'll be forced to take appropriate measures.
In an attempt to control her behaviour, Supervising Officer Dave brings the woman's husband.
You know what I'm saying? She needs to calm down. There's no need to throw clothes around.
Usually, it's a combination of factors. They know they've been busted, they're tired from the long flight, it's early in the morning, and it just can all sort of accumulate and they can lose the plot momentarily.
So this is the bill.
Once she's calmed down, Customs and Border Protection officers inform the passenger through an interpreter that she is required to pay $600 duty on the luxury goods. But she now claims the handbag she is carrying is not the one she bought.
The young lady's saying that she and her friend in China have the same bag, so she bought the identical model to the one she already had, and she'd bought that earlier. She'd had it last year, she said.
Why didn't you tell me that before? Why didn't you tell me that before? Why didn't you tell me that this was the same bag, but...
She's saying the watch, fair enough, but not necessarily the bag.
Trust you.
Officers doubt the woman's story and remind her that she is not off the hook yet.
You haven't declared the watch. You haven't declared the business cards. You're carrying 3 passports that belong to somebody else. You've been aggressive, okay? This isn't looking good right now, okay?
In Sydney, this New Zealand passenger is waiting patiently for immigration to decide if he'll be allowed to enter the country.
So have a look at the reason why he's coming. So you spoke to family about that?
Yep. They confirmed that he's here for the brother's 50th. They confirmed they'll be staying with him. They confirmed the brother will be buying the return airline ticket home. They don't know anything about his criminal convictions.
They're not aware of this history?
No.
Yeah. So it's probably something he's looking to change.
I spent 25 years inside, 25 years of my life. And then until I turned 50, and I just had enough, It's time to, chuck it all in and do the right thing.
He may be doing the right thing now, but a lifetime of law breaking is a hard thing to overlook.
And a decision has been made to refuse you immigration clearance today. And we'll have to apply for a visa overseas at the Australian Embassy so they can make a proper assessment of the criminal convictions.
When do I go home?
We'll call the airline and try and arrange something with them, hopefully today.
Christopher has a philosophical view on the outcome.
Them's the breaks, that's all I can say, that's it, It's my fault, I'm the one that's got all those down on that paper.
A search of this woman's luggage has revealed not only undeclared luxury goods, but also thousands of business cards for an escort agency in Sydney. And now an immigration officer will investigate why she is also carrying 3 passports of unknown Chinese women.
You're just going to help me to interpret. Okay.
Immigration officer Greg will now question the woman using her husband as an interpreter. They have established that the women from the passports live in China, and immigration believes the passenger intends to help them come to Australia.
So, you having the passports, what were you thinking of going to do next with the passports?
那你看接下来干嘛？
什么接下来？
不是你拿着他的护照就去干嘛？
送到那个中介，让中介给办呢。
The woman tells Officer Greg she intended to give the passports to an agency in Chinatown, and they would help the women get visas for Australia.
Just like a help, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the business cards.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The business card.
Yeah.
This is my friend. Let me do that, and I just signed a sample for her. She don't know nothing.
Okay, so she doesn't know anything about the
No, she don't know
cards?
nothing. Yeah.
So, okay. So, and the girls, nothing to do with your friend's business? Nothing?
Come on.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Told you. What do you want me to think?
Yeah, I know a lot, but
it's like
yeah.
No. All right. Thank you. We'll make a decision from there. I'll leave you with the customs gentleman.
Both Customs and Border Protection and immigration officers don't believe the passenger poses a threat to the border. The passenger must pay the duty on the watch, and the 3 passports are returned to her. But Officer Pete gives her a stern warning.
We've got you on the computer now, okay? We've got you on the computer. If this happens again, it'll be more problems. You're very lucky.